Oh man. Alright, so this is probably the 20th high speed that I've worked on here, and I've still yet to play the damn game. But anyways, this one came in. I believe it was not booting, which would make a lot of sense. So we had quite the alkaline buildup here in the blanking section, which had dripped down from the battery pack kind of underneath the top PIA into the bottom PIA, a little bit over here into this section as well, and then all the way down into the header here. So this header's been replaced. All of the 6427s have been replaced. I pulled all the resistors, cleaned all that up, cleaned all the alkaline, rebuilt the blanking section, was able to save the PIAs. Thankfully, we cleaned off the legs there. I pulled these just in case to make sure we didn't have any alkaline underneath. Reset section was actually good, as well as the top half, which was really strange. Alkaline has a mind of its own on where it travels to. Both of the sound ROMs were actually corrupted. I verified them with my EEPROM burner, and both of them actually came up with a fault. So I've got working high-speed sound ROMs in the board right now. Replaced all three of the 100 UF filter capacitors. So for your 5 volts, 12 volts, and negative 12 volts. Not sure if it's in that order. But we replaced the reset capacitor, which is a 22 UF, the 470, and also the 100 here in the sound. And we've also got two 10 UF capacitors here in the sound section as well, and those both have been replaced. So, as always, I always pull both the 6802 sockets. My thing is, you know, if I'm going through debugging this board, I've had enough times to where sockets have been an issue on boards. I don't want to sit there and chase my tail even more than what I already do. So I just go ahead and replace the 40-year-old sockets. So both the 6802s, both the game ROMs, as well as the sound ROMs, those all get new sockets. Went ahead and socketed the RAM here as well, just in case if you want to add NVRAM, and also the RAM here in the sound section. I did pull the PIA. We were having issues with the sound section, and I didn't have the Leon's test ROM burnt right now to test the PIA, so I went ahead and pulled it just to, you know, I figured I'm already into the board deep enough. Might as well. That didn't actually end up being the issue. What the issue is here with the abatement, you can actually kind of see it there. So that trace comes down to pin 39, which actually feeds the reset here to the sound section. And there was a broken trace right in there from, like I said, all that alkaline buildup that had happened. So we get that repaired. Thankfully, we didn't have any issues with solenoids, switches, anything like that. It was just basically that alkaline that had, you know, corroded enough to keep it from booting. So I don't have a battery connected. So we'll go ahead and power cycle. As you can see, we get a full boot. Lamp matrix dancing, and the only coil that's on is the coin lock out there. So go ahead and get this thing into test, and no background sound, so we don't have any background sound coming off the board here. And displays, as expected, are all working perfectly. And next test is going to be sound test. And next test is going to be lamps. So all the lamps are working there. And then single lamps. And into the solenoids here. So system 11, with testing this on the bench, system 11 nothing I should say, they did not ground the coils, so you have to ground it yourself. That plug is not connected to ground on the board. It's a connector that plugs in that actually grounds it out. So that's why I've got the jumper here. So all the solenoids there are working. And then we'll go through the switches, and we're going to be testing diagonally through the matrix. So testing both the rows and columns as we go along here. And the last switch and high speed is switch 52 there. So as you can see, we have everything fully working. We'll go through in edges as well. So that's typically what I test it in. And switch 52. So we've got everything working 100% here. I'd set it to free play, but you know, unfortunately we're not supposed to ship those batteries in the mail, so it wouldn't do it any good setting it on free play there. So, but anyways, everything is fully working there for you once again. And you know, some people don't like the bare copper. I've heard a lot of people mention, you know, spraying over it with some green or nail polish or whatever else. I myself actually love the bare copper look. I don't know. I just, as long as it's done properly, you know, that's all that really matters there. As I said, I can formal coat it over top of it there as well, so there won't be any corrosion or anything like that happening with the copper from now on. But thank you so much.